I was asking some women what they found confusing about holistic diets, and the most common response I got was, Catherine, what's a holistic diet? And as someone who's been living in a health coach bubble, this really caught me off guard because here I have been telling you all these tidbits about holistic diets without actually explaining to you what it is in the first place. Oops, my bad. So I decided to create a three-part series, and here's what we're going to cover. So the first one, which is on this topic today, is going to be the difference between a holistic and a modern diet. The second thing we'll talk about are 11 kinds of holistic diets and therapies, plus which ones that you can choose when. And the third thing we'll talk about is 4 ways to get started with a holistic diet. So let's go ahead and delve in. So let's talk about the difference between modern diets and holistic diets. So I'm going to define both of them for you. So modern diets are probably what you've come across the most in the media. So they involve some kind of counting and measuring and weighing and analyzing of health science. So some examples would be calorie counting, doing a program where you can have a meal plan that promises that you'll lose X amount of weight in X amount of days. Or it could be looking at a protein, fat, and carb ratio. And what's so attractive about modern diets is that you feel like there's a guarantee. So you feel like if you could just stick to this plan for X amount of days, surely you'll just wake up looking like a Victoria's Secret angel model. And that feels really great because it's very measurable. But what's so challenging about that is that they're really rigid and they don't really account for your friend's birthday party or for travel or for anything considered life when you say that life happens. And personally, I feel like modern diets make you really paranoid because even if you do meet your goal, you're always constantly thinking about how much you ate, when you ate, if you've been good or bad, if you can afford calories, and whether or not you're allowed to have a social life. And that can be super frustrating because you constantly feel like if you don't do what you're doing, then you're just going to undo all of your progress and regain all of the weight that you had just put in all your blood, sweat, and tears into losing. So personally, I do see some perks because you feel like it's measurable, you feel like it's something tangible that you can do. But on the other hand, it's not really honing in on what your body really needs. So let's start talking about what a holistic diet is. So the word holistic literally means mind and body. So it's about finding out what foods react the best to your body, what foods make you feel your best, meaning what agrees with your tastes, what makes you actually feel good. And it's also about living in a way where you feel like your diet is in alignment with your goals and also with your spirit. So weight loss is actually a byproduct of this. Once you have everything resonating with you, once you're eating foods that make you feel good, you really enjoy the tastes, and you feel like you're just emotionally calm, most people who are in that position don't really have any issues with their weight. Their body weight just balances itself out. So what that means is weight gain or weight imbalance is a reflection of some kind of emotional or physical imbalance that's going on. So here are some distinguishing factors for holistic diets. One is you need to consider your body temperature, which basically relates to circulation. So, is your body warm or is your body cold? That's something that's really important that you don't really cover in modern diets. Another thing is energy levels. So this isn't just about having more energy. So if you're really, really tired and you're looking at modern diets, maybe you're drinking coffee, maybe you're having all these energy boosting supplements to make you have more energy. But actually, holistic diets, we actually focused more on rest or less stress because your body is able to, I guess you could say, refuel your battery by resting as opposed to running on low battery and trying to fuel yourself with all these energy boosting foods. And the third thing that's also pretty distinguishing is how you feel when you eat the food, regardless of whether or not it's considered healthy. So if you really hate broccoli, but your meal plan is telling you to eat broccoli, when it comes to a holistic diet, you don't have to eat broccoli. This is about what works for your body. There's plenty of other healthy foods that you can choose from, and you're not really limited to one. So, here are some key points about holistic diets that I want to point out to you. One thing to note here is that many of these holistic diets have originated before we had modern science. So, before we even knew what proteins and carbs and calories and vitamins and minerals and all these nutrients even were. So, humans had to understand how to rebalance our bodies and stay healthy based on what we could sense. And that means that we had to understand elements in nature. So, even though from a scientific perspective, sometimes science might not completely agree with holistic therapies, but the reason why I love it so much is it's something that you can feel. You can feel a change happening. You can feel inner calm, inner peace. You can feel what's resonating with you. And what modern diets tend to overlook is the feeling aspect. I mean, you could do it, but do you feel good about it? That's really the bottom line. Another thing is that Mother Nature doesn't want you to be fat. Your body is constantly trying to bring itself back into balance at a comfortable weight. That is really how it's designed. All of your organs are designed to function in a way to keep you healthy. So if you're really struggling, then it usually means that your body is trying its best, but something is getting in the way of its progress. And doing a holistic diet helps you figure out what that is, and it helps you regulate your weight without all of that counting and measuring and weighing. As someone who has been obsessed with all things weight loss, I personally found myself skeptical of holistic diets at first. Because when you have a specific goal in mind, for example, you want to lose 20 pounds so you can get to the beach and have fun for summer, for example, it's really tempting to choose the method that you think is going to get you the results the quickest. So you wind up picking modern diets like an 8-week meal plan or a boot camp, for example. But instead, I want you to take one step back and look at holistic diets, because you're going to find it easier to understand how those 20 pounds even snuck onto your body in the first place. And you're going to learn to eat in a way that feels great to you, your lifestyle, and it also helps you have the body that you want for the long term. Okay, so now that we have gone over the difference between the holistic and a modern diet, you can go on to part 2, which is on 11 kinds of holistic diets and therapies, plus which one you can choose when.